today's video is going to be around your employee training, just basically going through all the different functions and buttons here within the employee module. But let's get started. The basic thing we're going to look at first is within our utilities, preferences, and if we drop into employee here, these are going to be your basic settings around your employees. So again, general options here, load POS at logon, that'll be dedicated to your point of sale computer only. So whether that individual is going to be using the POS system at all times, you can select that to load that again. Whether they have payroll access, a whole bunch of different informations. The big one to look at here is the default employees list date range. So whenever they go into any type of list within True ERP, it'll automatically load these dates first, so the past 60 days, and it will move forward 5 days. So you can set those default reports. As well as that, another important one is the pop-ups and reminders that are going to appear for all your different categories, so your appointments, customer loyalty programs, fixed assets and warranties, and all the different types of reminders. So go ahead and look at your different preferences, go over those. With your reminders, you can also view your reminders by simply clicking at the bottom here. Whichever tab you're in, you can simply go ahead and click on reminders, and you can view what your specific reminders are from within the screen. You can go ahead and click all employees, hit refresh, and it'll populate all the employees reminders. Go ahead and select your own, hit refresh, and that'll populate your reminders, whether it's a to-do, purchase order, back order, marketing contact quote, that'll populate from within here. The first thing we're going to look at is creating our employee. There is a video on creating an employee, but we can just go have a look at one of the basic employees here. And again, sorry, let me just jump back a step. If you go ahead and you look at the top row, beneath that is usually the list that follows. So what I mean by that is, if we have rep, to create a rep would be here, to see the rep list would be below that, to create a to-do would be here, below that would be the list. Same with employees. So let's jump ahead into an employee, double click, and that'll open up the employee card. Here you will fill out all their relevant information, so the employee's name, middle name, last name, whether you want them to show on the roster or not. We'll get into that in a second. That'll be the staff roster. What maximum allowed discount percentage are they allowed to give? So if we take that away and say this employee John McKenzie is only allowed to give, when he's doing a quote or an invoice, to give a maximum of a 10% discount percentage on that quote or invoice. Again, we look at their account information, address information, all their basic and relevant information regards to this employee, all their pay details for running a pay, whether they're full-time or part-time, what sort of award or group are they a part of when running a pay. That'll help define when you run that pay. Sales and commissions, whether they earn sales and commissions, whether it's on a sale as a whole, or whether it's product specific. So you can have both. Usually you would select one or the other. So if you did an invoice with a blue pen, if you had product specific commission and invoice commission, you would get two types of commission. You would get a commission for that blue pen if you had selected that blue pen, and you would get a commission for the invoice. So you would select one or the other usually. As well as that, pay history for this employee. But the other thing to look at is your photo ID, and this is going to be essential for when scanning in this person to start work and so on. So if we go ahead and click photo ID, we say print photo ID, we can see this individual's scan in with this barcode is EMP9. So whenever he wants to scan in, that is what will be scanned in. So what I mean by that, if we jump back out of here and we go into clock on and we type in his scan there, we go to the roster list, we can see this individual has just clocked on. Again, with clocking off, put in that barcode or scan it in, we can now see that he has started at that specific time and ended at that specific time. So this is a way of just scanning in your employees in the roster list, adding them to the roster. So now we can see John McKenzie or Philip Smith or whomever we have here. If we look at John Smith here, we can choose a selected amount of days, so we can say over the 4th and the 7th, right click, this individual will be on sick leave or long service and so on. So we'll apply sick leave here. We can then say admin during this week is unavailable, and Marcel for these days is going to be at a different department within our business. So we can segment our roster list and our individuals from within our roster list to do different functions. So we have a grasp and a grip on who's doing what within the business. As well as that, we can convert employees into reps, and a rep is going to be an individual that's going to go out and do service work and represent your company. So we can see this individual has a service type, general, there's a charge out, pay rate, charge to, and a history of the work that individual has done. Again, simply double click and it will take you back to the service work that makes that up. So if we go look and we actually want to incorporate a rep, you can go ahead and create a rep by clicking at the top here. But if we wish to incorporate an employee to go out and do service work for us, you can simply go to appointments, create appointment, and the company that they're going to go out to, say Apple Corp, and it's going to be entered by this employee, and we're going to add some service work to this. So we're going to add a rate, a call out, and a total of that. Each employee will have different call outs, so if you want to say design that around here, we can see different rates that are allowed for these different representatives. So each rep can have a different fee attached to them or a different call out fee, and so on. You can add service work like electrical and so on. So we're just adding rates in here, call out fee and so on. We can design that around the start time of this. What date will this be? Say the Wednesday, and the ending time will be that. When this employee saves this and then comes back from the job, the actual date will be when it actually took place, again whether it was the same day, and the actual time. So say he started at 12 but he actually finished at 2:30. That'll estimate that pay rate total and those hours total. So that's a great way of setting up your reps to go out and do service work for your company. If we go back into the employee list, we can add to-dos for your team, whether it's your marketing team, your sales team, or just your regular employees. We can add to-dos for them, and this is a structure designed around to supply them with specific jobs and tasks throughout the day, and they can update those hourly or daily, and you can set these to-do dates by. So if you want to create a to-do date, the description will be find new marketing ideas, or whatever it may be. Select which employee this is for, who it's been created by, when must the end result be completed by, what is its priority on your list, and again you can set multiples of these per employee. It's really unlimited, but you can enter that in, hit save. Once we go to our to-do list, and we search within our date ranges here, find new marketing ideas, double click. You can then enter results, and it will tell you the time here, so the total time it's taken for you to reply to this response, whether it's been 1 day, 23 hours, 5 minutes, 10 seconds on this date, and when it was created by, and when responded on. So literally type in anything, that'll put that result in, hit save, hit refresh, that'll update your to-dos. As well as that, I can view my to-dos within my reminders. If I click on my reminders, I'll scroll down to the bottom, or I click on future, I'd like to see my future to-dos and reminders. If we look down here, find new marketing ideas. It needs to be done in 10 days, and what is it? It is a to-do. Simply double click and it will take you back to what makes it up. Whenever I get new results on that, I simply enter them in, hit done, and once this job is completed, I simply tick completed, hit save, and that to-do has now been completed. If I go back into my to-do list, if I cancel out of there, excuse me, if I go into my to-do list and I see to-dos that have been done, there is my find new marketing ideas. It has been completed. So that's how to do your to-dos. Regards to sending out your reps and creating services for those reps, again, let me actually take a step back. You can create services for these different reps. What type of service are they going to go out and do, and what is the rate attached to that service? So you can go ahead and create new services, give it a description. Is it a fixed rate? What's its charge out fee? And those are your descriptions for your different services, and that was shown as before when we did an appointment for our reps to go out and do service work. Employees work around the same way. That's going to be in your timesheet. Assign an employee to it, give him a job to do for whomever. Is there anything, equipment that's been needed for this job? Is there a rate that is attached to that? Is it going to be normal hours, 10 hours, and the rate per hour is 120 bucks. There is going to be your total charge out fee with all your information and relative information allocated to that. Again, if there's equipment to be added to this, add the equipment. You can allocate to a repair work, or otherwise load to the roster, or go ahead and hit save. So if we go into our timesheet list, we can see repair work that needs to be done. What is the job? When was the timesheet date? And so on, entered. As well as that, we have a whole list of custom reports. Once you've designed your templates and your own sort of reports, this is where those templates are going to load. And what I mean by templates is, if we go to reports, templates, and you've designed a custom report or designed it from around one of these, if we go into our custom reports, we can see for whoever's logged in, whatever employee, here are the custom reports found at the top. Again, so reports, custom reports, so the reports that you've created, and in the employee tab here under custom reports. We can also set our color preferences. So this is just adding uniqueness to our screens. However we want it to look and feel, we can set that up within our color schemes. Save that. ERP will close and reopen, saving your new settings. You can set up your personal preferences around your employee preferences, what you want to see, and so on, regards to your specific appointments and reminders to appear. As well as that, setting your access levels. Now, access levels, if I take a step back, they can be done from when creating an employee, as well as that you can set your access levels from here. Now, access levels is literally what it means. It's going to supply you with access levels throughout the whole program. So you can have from allowed to approve sales orders, so from no access, and this would usually be not every employee will have access to the access levels. It would usually be one or two people in the company designating access levels to specific employees, and like I said again, when creating your employee, you can do this from creating an employee in that card. So but from within here you can set access levels, allowed to approve sales order, no access to that, whether it's no access, read only, to create and read, full with delete, and full without delete, and full with delete. Now usually here again, usually only one person is in the company is going to have a setting like this, full with delete. Otherwise the norm is going to be read only and create and read. So simply double click on those preferences and go ahead and select what sort of access levels you want to have throughout the program within your different modules. So once that's done, go ahead and click save. Again, ERP will then close and reopen, saving your new settings. If we now go ahead and take a look at our employee, so once creating an employee, I'm just going to go into the employee list, open up an employee. Where we're going to assign them their access levels when we're setting them up is we're going to go into password. Once we've given them a password, verified it, we can then select access levels from here, and I'll take you back to that same screen. Again, for each individual module, you will have different access levels. Again, the module name will be at the top, and you can go through and select that. Again, you can copy these access levels from another employee. So if it's a generic access level that you want to copy, you can go ahead and do that. And that way you don't have to sit and sift through all the access levels, take 4 hours to set that up. If you know there's an employee within your sales team and you've just employed another individual, you are more than likely going to set them up with the same access levels, and you can simply copy from there. Jump back out. Again, we have employee summary, so what's gone on, expense claim requests done by the employees, expense claim list. Simply double click and it will take you back to the expense claim that made that up. And last but not least, we have a huge amount of reports. Simply click on reports, and here are all your different lists and reports regards around your employee. So employee commissions list, double click and it will take you back to the commissions lists that makes or the employees that make up this commissions list. So huge amount of lists, you can go through them. To-dos, check out your to-do lists, what to-dos are there, what's been done, what's been deleted, search on what dates and for what employee to see who's doing what within your business. So there we are. That's your employees training, how to set up an employee, add some to-dos, designating a rep to service work, as well as your employees in your timesheet, scanning in and out in your roster, and giving your guys access levels and making this as unique as possible. So there we are. That's employees training. Thanks for watching.